So another huge Premier League transfer has just gone through. Joao Pedro has officially signed for Chelsea for a transfer fee which could rise to up to £60 million, which means if all add-ons, etc. are completed for all players that Chelsea have signed from Brighton in the last 3 seasons, the fees going to Brighton now exceed over £250 million. Absolutely insane business from a Brighton perspective, but is it good business from a Chelsea perspective? Well, as I sit here right now, they are, of course, 3 games away from being crowned champions of the world. So they're obviously doing something right, and obviously this is another player that fits into their system, I think, pretty well. The question is, though, where exactly does he fit into said system? I know that sounds like a contradiction, but what I mean is he going to play up front? Is he going to play in attacking midfield? Is he going to play off the left-hand side? Obviously, we know Chelsea are constantly looking to bolster their attacking options. They're on the verge of signing Jamie Gittins. We'll do an actual reaction video when that transfer is officially announced. What does this mean for Liam Delap, who's just come in to try and be the main man? What does this mean for Nicholas Jackson? Is he now going to be on his way out? What does this mean for Cole Palmer if Pedro's going to be deployed in a more off-the-front position, which he was sometimes deployed with at Brighton, if not more so in that position than he was for Brighton? There are a lot of questions going around right now as to what this all means for Chelsea going forward. Or to be honest, though, is this just the reaction of Chelsea Football Club to the ever-growing number of fixtures that these sides are playing? I mean, we've just spoken about it. They're in the quarter-final of the Club World Cup off the back of a full-blown season, which has seen them compete on all 4 fronts, winning, of course, the Europa Conference League. They have played upwards of 75 games this season, and they're only going to have 4 weeks of break, assuming they make it to the Club World Cup final, which does look like it could be likely to happen. We're looking at a 4-week break before another season before this leads into the actual World Cup next summer. And I think Chelsea, that is what they're doing. They are looking to bolster their squad in every position and have at least 2 players available to them in every position. So I guess in that regard, you've got to give them credit for it. It worked well for them last year. Obviously, it delivered them European success last season. They're going to want to get this Club World Cup. They're going to want to compete for the Premier League and the Champions League next season. And I think this is another signing that helps them do that. But when you start building squads of this dynamic, it does run the risk of what could potentially happen if you start losing in these competitions. And look at what's happened with Manchester City over the course of the last few weeks. The likes of Jack Grealish being excluded from the squad, for example. When you build up so many good players, it doesn't necessarily always work out. Look at what happened already with Chelsea this season with the likes of Joao Felix. All of a sudden, you get knocked out of the League Cup, you get knocked out of the FA Cup. All of a sudden, those players that don't play week in, week out in the Premier League no longer have that midweek fixture to rely on. And that's why I say, what does this mean for someone like Liam Delap, who has gone in at Chelsea with the prospect of being a regular starter for them? Well, now he's got to compete with Jackson, he's got to compete with Pedro, he's got to compete with Gui, whatever his name is, I can never say his name, the young Spanish striker. What does this mean for the likes of Esteval that's going to be coming in off the back of the game against Chelsea this week? There are so many players that are going to be coming into this squad in these positions. How the hell do you keep them all happy unless you are actually winning week in, week out and competing on all 4 fronts? Is this smart business from Chelsea? Let me know down in the comment section below. I do think it's very good business for Brighton. We know what Brighton do year in, year out. They sell their top players for big money and they invest it in young, talented players which they know they can develop into strong players. I've got the name, I've already forgotten his name. It's like Kustalas or something. Kostulas. They've already signed the Olympiacos young striker. He is going to be coming in exactly in the same mould as Joao Pedro. Can play up front, can play off the front. Literally a direct replacement. So they already knew that Joao Pedro was going to be leaving this summer. They've already replaced him for half the price. And given Brighton's track record, don't be surprised if in the next 2 or 3 years, this 18-year-old is going to be sold for way, way more money in a couple of years' time. I'm torn, to be honest. I think, like I said, I think it's definitely going to help Chelsea to compete on multiple fronts. He's a very talented player. He's a proven goal scorer at Premier League level. But let's not forget how many of the goals he scored are from the penalty spot. So if he's on the pitch, is he taking penalties? Is Palmer taking penalties? Who knows? We shall see. But Joao Pedro has signed for Chelsea. Another forward moves to Stamford Bridge. And with many more apparently still to come, and like I say, reactions to any more major signings from the Premier League clubs over the course of the next few weeks. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching as always. I'll see you very soon.